go ahead and start. Okay, guys. Welcome to another live stream. I'm Michael the Matcha Fox.
And I'm Burger.
And today we have two special guests with us. We have Pukan.
Hi. Hello, guys.
All right. Pukan from Thailand. He is a familiar face. If you've been watching the podcast for at least the past year, I would say. I think it's been a year, hasn't it, since we last invited you to the pod.
It's been a while.
we saw Pukan. I saw you briefly at Kaohsiung Chahui, Kaohsiung Tea Party.
You always saw me
briefly.
In my defense, you always saw me briefly.
Yeah. Saw him briefly. I forgot to tap your shoulder, but I saw you briefly. And then we have a new guest. We have Pink Cat from Taiwan. Thank you for being here. So the topic of today is talking about furry Vtubing, I should say, Vtubing, and we do have a set of questions that we will be asking our guests. But again, this is an interactive event, and if you guys have any questions, any responses, please just throw into the chat. Remember, no not safe for work, no spamming, or we will kick you.
Yep.
We will have a dedicated Q&A section at about 9:30 p.m. Taiwan time. So we'll do a time check at about an hour 30 minutes in, roughly speaking. But again, feel free to ask any questions as the show progresses. I guess I'll introduce myself just briefly as always. My name is Michael the Matcha Fox. I am a voice actor, translator, teacher here in Taiwan. I've been a graduate student for about 2 years, and I run a podcast with that guy to my left. I guess Burger, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course, thank you. I am Burger. I am also a teacher, but I do that more full time. That's my main source of income, I would say. And I am also a musician. I don't know if I'm still technically a YouTuber since I haven't uploaded anything in the past 10 months or so. But I am part of a podcast with another very special person.
I'm not the only human here. I'm the only human here.
Oh yeah. We're surrounding you basically.
This is me in a cup. This is me. Yeah. All right. Let's move.
And we can move on to Pukan. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
If you guys don't know me before, hi, my name is Pukan, and I'm still a VTuber. Fortunately, yes. I mean, it's been a year now since I started my Twitch journey. But yes, I'm still a VTuber. I'm live here on Twitch. My username is Pukan. It's PUKNN with a double N. I'm a variety streamer. I'm from Thailand. I'm currently living in Taiwan, and thanks for having me here today.
Yes, no problem.
Absolutely.
All right, and then Pink Cat.
Hi, I'm Pink Cat. I'm from Taiwan. My English is not very well, so you will hear a little Mandarin in the stream. So sorry about that. But I'm so happy to you guys to invite me to your podcast. Very appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So here's something that I want to know. Well, actually, first, go ahead and tell us about these 3D avatars you're currently using. Tell us about your personas.
Okay. Who should go first?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go Pukan. Let's go Pukan first. Let's get the order Pukan and then Pink Cat. Let's maintain that order.
Okay. So apparently my persona, I mean, I use it as it's a dog. I mean, a lot of people here was confusing. I know everyone in the chat gonna be like, wait, isn't you a cat? No, I'm not a cat. I'm a fox. No, I'm not a fox. Fine.
He's cat.
I'm a dog. And but this model itself, I mean, in particular, it was made by Mofuaki. It was a pre-made model, and it was it was repaint, it was retextured into my own persona design, and I've been using it since I was starting the stream. I currently have 2 models that I've been actively using, but this one is gonna be the one that you will all see here today. And it's a dog. It's a Thai bang cow dog, but this model doesn't, particularly reflected like the design of like that specific breed of a dog. But but it works. So I'll just go with that. Yeah.
Right. Now, we already kind of talked about this when you were on the podcast, but just for this live stream, can you tell us more about why you chose this animal to be your fursona?
I mean, in short is that because I have one. I actually have like a pet dog, which is a Thai bang cow dog as well, and I'm particularly really fond with him. So when I choose to like pick like a second fursona I want to redesign, I choose this one because first of all, I mean, I want to be able to at least a little bit representing more about my country and where I came from. And the second thing is it's a very cute dog, and a lot more people deserve to know that this thing exists. So yeah, that's the reason why I choose this one. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good reason. And then we can go over to Pink Cat. So tell us about your Pink Cat.
My Vtuber, my avatar is this one from my persona. Yes. Why am I choose I'm a cat? Because movie names 猫的报恩. This is very that movie I like. So I very like cat. So now I have a chance to use my persona to stream game and everyone. So this is what I choose this avatar to be a VTuber. Yes.
Can you remind me? Sorry, can you please say again? You said a movie inspired you to pick that avatar. Is that correct?
Persona.
Oh, your persona.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
What was the name of the movie? That's what I wanted to know.
In Mandarin, it's called 猫的报恩.
So 猫是 cat 的猫的我的
Yes.
然后包那个包
报纸的报.
报纸 like newspaper.
Yes. 然后恩是恩情的恩.
Oh, I just had to Google that right now. The Cat Returns.
Yes.
This is Japanese, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Miyazaki. Yeah. Studio
The Cat
Ghibli.
Returns. Studio Ghibli. Okay. Sorry. Sorry for the English audience. That's we know it as that. The Cat Returns. I haven't seen it. Heard it's good though.
I have seen it actually. I've watched it
Would you
with my
recommend it?
parents back in the U.S. actually. Yeah, it was more about the human girl and realizing she had to be more active in her life rather than the cat. But the cat character is pretty cool.
I want to say shout out to the 23 people who are in here, and also we have Xiao O也来了. If you guys know what Xiao O is, he is a 大大. But yeah, he is the but no, thanks to everybody for coming in. Yeah. I guess Burger, you'll take the next question.
Sure. All right. So go ahead and tell us how you became fascinated with live streaming and VTubing and content creation in the first place. Was there anything that inspired you, or like was it? Well, what inspired you, and was it another streamer or VTuber? Like, what exactly gave you that spark?
For me, I would say that it actually pretty mixed because I mean I come from the person that I didn't watch like what is it called, like a conventional furry streamer. I personally do watch like those kind of like the VTuber, like the whole live VTuber. I mean, if we say a name, maybe like Gogura, or maybe like those kind of like the big names VTuber that exist in the market, things like that. But the reason why I started VTubing in the first place is probably because the fact that I don't need to clean my room whenever I want to go live. I mean, that's one of the thing. But the thing is that, like, I mean, I am particularly have my personal experience around doing like live streaming and stuff like that. I work in the public relations stuff. I do a lot of public speaking myself. So when it comes to doing live streaming, is something that I can generally transfer those skills into it. But along the way, I can also say that I do gain an experience like along the way. So to dial back to the question asking like, why do I start streaming at first? It probably just because, it's COVID. COVID hit Taiwan like on 2021. It was a big hit. no one can do anything at all. I'm just at home. I'm bored. So like, let's just do some Twitch. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, that's how it started. Basically.
You mentioned that you do a lot of public speaking. I'm just curious, like, are you talking about your experience back in Thailand, or are you talking here in Taiwan?
In Thailand, yep.
Oh, what kind of public speaking did you do?
I do a lot of kind of like being like an MC, kind of the people that like the mic jockey, things like that. I do shoutcasting, I do podcast, I do talk show. Yeah, so it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, and later you can you give a shout out to whatever podcast that you have. If I remember, that podcast is only in the Thai language, right?
Oh yeah, it's true. But it was like discontinued for a long time, so I wouldn't
call it. There is that too.
Yeah.
So I guess we can pass the question over to Pink Cat now.
Yep.
So tell us about your inspiration for broadcasting on Twitch and stuff.
Okay, it's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have been streaming before 7 or 8 years ago, just a long time. I can stream in that time. Okay. I'm interested in this, so I keep looking at how to improve my gaming and streaming. Now, so I have a very, very patient, I don't know how to say, on streaming and about technical or active to other viewer or playing game to someone. So I really love this thing. So I'm so happy I can play with my friend and viewers through my persona, this avatar. Yes.
All right. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that you were streaming before. So what exactly were you doing in the past?
It's the same. It's the same as just play a different game like the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, or some horror game. The new horror game is the Layers of Fears. That is a very really good horror game, but that game is so beautiful. So I can forget my fear to just keep playing it. Yes, that game is so awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Wait, so you play horror games? Pink Cat, you play horror games?
Just Layers of Fear. The other one, no. Hell no.
so you never played 你没有玩过那个中文叫做还愿吗? Do you know that one?
I don't have that game. 我就想要玩的时候，它就刚好我买不到，就比较可惜。对，
为什么买不到？ How come you couldn't buy it?
那一阵子我比较忙 ，I'm too busy about my college and my work, so I can play any game. And that time I don't streaming in that few years, so I will 就在那几年内我有中断。
Okay. So for people who don't understand what we're talking about, there's a game called Devotion. In English, it's called Devotion. In Chinese, it's called 还愿. And it's a Taiwanese horror game. Kind of recent, actually. Came out in 2019, I think.
Yep.
I only know about this because we learned about it in school. We learned about this in school because we had to learn. Not really learn, but like we looked at how they translated this into English, because there are a lot of Taiwanese, I guess, like cultural items and concepts in this game. I think it takes place in Taipei, and I think it takes place like, I don't know what. I'm not.
It's like
sure.
A family of three.
Right. Yeah.
And and something about pressuring the daughter into being like a singer or idol or something.
Yeah. There's also another game that I'll just have to pull up later, but yeah, like that's a unique Taiwanese game that like just like when you say horror game, that came to mind. Sorry, yeah, we can move on.
Yeah. Oh well, before we move on, also you do play Dead by Daylight. Does that not count as like a horror game?
That game. First time I didn't. I just can see the killer hook the person on the hook. So at the first I will be a little afraid this because they have a lot of blood. But I will see the other streamer to play Day by Day live, and
Yeah.
I will find this game is very interesting, and it's not just a horror game. It's just I don't know how to
action?
say it. Yes, and it will what you do next will affect you will go out or just die, or you if you are killer, what you do you will get a full kill, or the person will go out. Yes,
Right.
not just a horror game. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's not just a scary, it's to work together as a team against a monster. Right.
Yes, yes, yes. If you are the monster, if you are the killer, you have need more attention. What you want to do, you can earn more blood point, I think. Yes, and more highest grade. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So let's talk more about your streaming software or hardware. So basically, what kind of software and hardware are you using right now to, first of all, to stream to the Discord server and to the Discord call? First of all,
You by hardware you mean as like is it like the computer or the computer specs or like kind of like
well, not so much. We can talk about specs later, but like right now you're using like virtual models in VR,
oh yeah,
right?
so I mean to put it simple, you need a PC. I mean, it doesn't need to be like a desktop PC or a laptop PC. I mean, it depends on how to say like what do you have. But apparently for me, more on the top of that one, I need a VR headset as I'm using it here. I'm currently in VR right now in order to use like all the tracking and stuff like that. But I mean, in extra is like as you can see here, I have like a full body tracking on with me, so I'm able to move a little bit more. Yeah, comparing to the conventional VR setup, and that's about it. That's pretty much about like how do you use the software. So it's just an OBS, and this is like all VR chat. This is inside like all in VR chat. So yeah.
Yeah, because we also had another guest on another stream. It was Tan. He was using a separate bit of software because he did not actually have a VR headset to use for his avatar. So seems like you could use your VTubing like characters either with a headset or without one. It just depends on what software you can use, right?
Yes, exactly. You can put it that way as well. That software that he's using is called VC Face, and what it does is basically taking the like a 3D model and able to use a software to capture like the facial expression and everything to go through the software, and you can use it. The reason why I'm currently using VR Chat right now because it for different cases. I mean, VR Chat, of course, you can use like other kind of tracking, including it in VC Face can also do that, but it's just not as convenient to do. So in VR Chat is like it's easier to include like these like hand movement motion. It's easier to include the like the full body tracking sensor that I have on my face. It's easier to have like a beautiful setup. My fake apartment at the back there, as you can see.
Yeah.
So and it also allow me to do like a wide range of expression here. So I can have like this one. I can have a smile. Oh wait, give me one sec. I disabled it. I can have this one. I can have a smile. I can have a sleepy face. I can have an angry face. Like this is all the thing that come with the software itself, and it just depends on like what tools you're liking, things like that.
Can you tell me like how much your full VR
gear costs? Do you really want to know?
Do you really want to know about this?
Yeah. I saw your view,
for the full set. Just the VR, right? Not include the PC. Just like how much the VR things cost. So I'm currently running on Valve Index, which is a little bit pricey headset. Full set itself it costs $1,000 USD, and for the full body tracking alone, you need around 120 USD per tracker. I'm currently running on 3 tracker right now, so apparently gonna cost you around like 1,000 and maybe like 360 USD. in order to get the full set. But there's also like potentially also a cheaper option available out there as well.
Right.
So this is just happened to be like a more enthusiast like equipment that I just happen to want to get it for myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I guess in other terms of hardware, there's also the strain and the kind of PC that you kind of use because, but we could also ask that for Pink Cat. So Pink Cat, what kind what would you say would be the a good setup for hardware of like to make sure your computer doesn't strain itself to like stream onto Twitch or YouTube or whatever?
Mm-hmm. To me, I have PC. 我想一下哦，对，you ask me a spec or something, or just what? Yes.
Well, you don't have to go too much into detail about specs, but I guess basically like what kind of setup would someone want to look for if they wanted their PC to be able to handle what you're doing right now? Yeah.
Okay. The first of all, you need in Taiwan the internet speed might be 100 download and 40 upload, but this is a very common data. So I think everyone has this 条件. I don't know how to say it.
Requirement.
Yes. And a PC, of course, you need to PC. You can now you can stream. And I suggest a two screen that more convenient to check my stream situation and reaction to my viewer to any time, because I can use software like Chatty. It can include everyone who chat in my Twitch, and I can reaction to my viewer anytime. Okay, and I have other device not necessary, but if you have to play PlayStation or Nintendo Switch, you need a capture box to capture the what you play on your PC and on the stream app or OBS. Yes, and of course I have some VR stuff now use. Microphone stand, and of course a webcam. Yeah, now or you can use your Vtubing like that. Okay, but let's talk about software. Like Pukan say, VC Face is my using now, and I have some special effect by using VTuber Plus to control my avatar to show something or follow something on me or just like that. Yes. And the important thing is Stream App to control everything about my stream stuff, like some alert or someone surprise you or someone throw the beats on you. Yes, that's helpful.
All right. Yeah. Good. Good to hear about that. So, just one last little detail before we move on. Like the software that you're using, are they free or are they paid?
The software itself, I mean, pretty much like all the software available in the market right now is actually free. The OBS, of course, is free. Even like the VC Face itself is free. There are also like the other additional software. So to put in perspective, it's like this. In order to do a VTubing, for most cases, there's two ways to do it. So the first one, this is gonna be like a bit of an additional on the last question, so I'll just like add it on here. The first one is that if we want to go to on a 2D VTubing, so for example, there's a lot of 2D VTuber out there. Maybe you can see on a conventional one. You would need it called VTube Studio, or you can also use a face rig. Those are the software that are especially made in order to do those kind of like a live 2D avatar. So it's kind of like the 2D VTubing. But if you're interested more into doing like a 3D VTubing like this one or the one that Pink Cat currently using, VC Face is the only way to go, because VC Face essentially is basically it's like a motion capture software. And on top of that one, if you want to add a more interactive element to your stream, you can consider looking into other software that providing a additional feature on top of that. In the market, we have currently right now there's 3 software that you can use. The first one is Tifa, which is currently already free. You can use it to interact with a 3D model. You can throw stuff at them. You can give something to eat. You can drop something on them. That's a free one. The second one is called Meep, and this one is currently in development. It have a lot of cool features as well, and it's also free. The third one that a lot of people using right now is Vtuber Plus, which is available on Steam. This one is a paid one, but it's not that expensive, and it would also give you a lot of additional feature interactive element into your 3D model VTubing. There's a lot of software that are involving into what do you want to use, and there's also the software that you can use to adding like those kind of like the additional feature or something that would let the user controlling your stream. For example, maybe they could mute your stream, they could activate like a voice changer, they could activate something that having an effect appearing on a screen. Those are the software that also widely available, and most of it is free. I think like most of a software too, I think like 90% of a streaming software and the thing that you can use to utilizing to make your stream even more entertaining or interactive is actually free. But there's also the paid version of it as well that you can also look into it. Some of it and then, I mean, at the end of the day, it just depends on what is your preference. What do you get used to, or what do you prefer to use? That's all. Just
right. Yeah. I'm surprised how sophisticated this kind of software gets, but also the free stuff just seems to work pretty well for free software. It's surprising to me, and I feel like I've been talking too much, so I'll give the next question over to Michael.
Yeah. Our next question here is more about your thought process when you stream, right? Do you ever feel like when you're streaming, do you ever feel like you take the I guess like the personality of your of like a persona of someone who's not yourself, or do you feel like you just be yourself when you stream?
I think maybe this one I'll let Pink Cat go first, because my answer is gonna be a bit long. It's gonna be a bit long.
Okay. I think I was at ease when I streaming, because I just who I am. I just be myself. Yes, like this. So and I had but yes. So I just be myself. So I don't will take a lot of I think 那怎么说，就是我其实在扮演自己，因为我就是本身就是扮演在我自己的角色上面，所以我没有太多的角色扮演的部分。对，
因为你是说你自己，你就是当自己吗？是的意思
Yes， 因为毕竟这是我的 persona。Yes, this is my persona. I just be who I am. Yes.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
yeah. That's basically what Pukan said. Pukan said he just is himself. He acts as himself.
Yeah, and if you have a persona, I believe that you could basically just do that more easily if you have that separation, that persona, to really exaggerate it in a way. But do you have your answer now, Pukan? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a little bit more detail on this thought process. So generally in VTubing, right? VTubing in process, like the V in front of VTubing is basically virtual YouTuber, or like virtual tuber, as someone might say. These things can go into two different categories. This is like kind of like a general assumption, but apparently this is also the trend that is going on right now. For us, furry, I would need to say this first, because like the audience, the listening audience right now is mostly furry, and we are very familiar with the concept of persona, right? We already kind of jumping into the furry, and we just like, oh, we have persona now. So why VTuber seems so different from persona? And to put in perspective, it's like this. For people out there, there's also a group of VTuber that forging the entirely new personality just for streaming. That's also considered as like a roleplay VTuber. So as you can say, like Gokura, she is a king of the ocean. There's no person in real life would be a king of the ocean. Or there's also Mori Calliope, which is like, the dead Satan walking on earth, hunting for souls, there's no such person do existing. But at the same time, there's a kind of VTuber like me or also Pink Cat that, we generally just took our persona and then we applying our own personality. There's a lot of people also do that as well. So at the end of the day, it just apparently just depends on what kind of VTuber that you're aiming to be. You want to be like entirely, newly and forged persona, or you can also just be yourself and then go live. It just depends on you. But I would say that each way doesn't have any pros and cons. It just depends on how do you want to build to it. To add it a little bit more into it is that for some people, they prefer to have something as called as a streaming personality. So to have a streaming personality is just easier, for you to have like a set of mind of what you want to be performing on stream. Because streaming, I mean, in general, is like is performing. We are entertainers as some sort. So to have a set of personality that, okay, I want to be entertaining, I want to be calm, I want to be, chaotic a little bit. These things can help streamer a lot when they need to get into the mood before streaming, things like that.
Yeah, it's very good to have that entertainer mindset because you are, basically just what you said. You're entertaining people.
Yep.
So having that in mind, I think that there's something unique about all sorts of the VTubers that are out there, and I think that's what's so special about the particular niche of VTubing is that even though they're all entertainers and that they're all they all basically have something that they bring that is different from each other, whether they be furry or anime or whatever kind of character they want to be. So and on a similar thought, can you tell us more about some of the pre-planning that you do for your streams? Like, can you tell us about how you come up with your schedules or what actual content you want to bring to people?
If it depends on me, the way I do streaming, because it depends. It depends on what kind of streamer are you as well. I will be talking from the perspective of so-called variety streamers. There's also there's also a lot of kind of streamer existing out there as well. But in short, variety streamer is the person that we're trying to focusing on providing variety of content as a name per se. And when it comes to content pre-planning itself, we are trying to looking into what we could do best or what could the audience want to watch from us. So this. But the thing is like this. These things what I'm sharing today is not kind of like like 100% pinnacle of like what is content pre-planning look like. It's just coming from me as a perspective of what have I done in the past. So if you as an audience, if you are listening to this one, please just take a note that this is like not a complete 100% true. It just I'm just sharing my own thoughts. So when it comes to planning my content, the thing that I first think about it is that what kind of thing that I can do best based from my personality. So this is a thing that it's not something that it would be super easy to figure it out when you start streaming. It's gonna take a while for to have a trial and error on, okay, this is a thing that my personality kind of kick in. For me, I can say that, okay, as a person who really hate horror games, I do genuinely hate like horror stuff in general. So when it comes to me playing horror game, it's just something that people like to watch my reaction on how do I encounter or how do I dealing with all the spooky stuff on stream. That is what people like to see. People like to watch me when I getting a little bit chaotic, trying to providing all the sass and thing and stuff like that on stream. These are the things that we receive. So when I have these information in mind, I kind of back to the drawing board and try to figure it out what kind of content that you could be doing that will bring these fun and juicy personality to be even more shine on the screen. This is like a kind of like the fundamental stuff that you could think of when you're planning your content for live streaming. And the second thought is that to make it even easier, you can try to plan it as you are making YouTube video. So in some cases, when people start streaming, you could get into the loop of I'm going to be streaming for 8 hours and I'm going to be streaming all the soft things that I want to do. But at the same time, when you're looking as a viewer perspective, each viewer have their own tendency on how long they could watch, what do they want to watch. So to think of your content as like a YouTube video of, okay, this is the data I'm going to be playing this game, or this is the data I want to be doing certain things, and to have things pre-planned in mind throughout the stream, what will you be doing in each timestamp and things like that, actually helps a lot in terms of keeping the audience in check. And also it's just easier for you to planning yourself mentally as well, as you know what to do. And you can, after the stream, you just take all the data. You can look into your own stat as well, which one perform good, which one perform not good, and you can just take all these data back to the drawing board again, figure it out will be your next step for your content planning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I appreciate how much thought you put into this. It's really professional sounding almost.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Pink Cat, do you have any thoughts on this as well? What exactly goes through your mind whenever you're planning out streams and content and all that?
我这一段用中文讲一下，就麻烦 Fox 翻译。OK， 就是我先确认一下，
你有几个句子？是4还是5？
应该还好。就我先确认一下这个问题，你能再讲一次刚 Burger 讲那个问题？
他是说你计划中你会准备什么？你会比如说就是你会先想到你想要表达什么，你的内容是什么这样的东西。
是在开始直播之前，就是在完全还没有直播过之前，还是说就是在准备第一次直播之前嘛？确认一下。
是。
OK， 好。当然第一步我会想说，我会比较倾向玩我喜欢玩的游戏，因为我的想法是我如果玩游戏玩的我自己开心的话，看的人也会开心，因为你玩自己游戏比较开心的话，你在跟你的观众互动的时候会变得非常自然。对，你可以先讲，对，我怕讲太长。对，
这样比较好。Okay, so the first thing I'll think of is what kind of game do I want to play, because I want to know what my audience will like the most.
你是问？
我没有问题，就是帮你口译。我就是
OK，
我结束了。那你继续。
好，那所以在玩自己喜欢的游戏的过程中，那就会很自然的表现说，我在玩这个游戏，因为我很喜欢这个游戏，那我就会开始去研究说，就像我黎明实现，就 day by daylight。How to improve my skill in game? How to earn the most highest skill in this game? 然后我会有就是成就感在这个游戏上，然后我就可以在过程中跟我的观众去讨论说，这个东西要怎么玩，我会进步得更快。那观众也会反过来回馈跟你说，你刚刚要怎么做。所以对我来说，这些东西虽然我在准备前，我就会先准备说，我喜欢玩什么游戏。那我先准备了这个东西以后，我在实况的过程中就会有这样的回馈，说，我可以跟观众互相的技术上的成长，然后甚至会聊得更开心。所以我会比较倾向这个准备。对
，Okay. After selecting the game or games that I want to play, I'll do a little bit of research about the game, like how do I pick the most optimal path? How do I increase my skill? But then I also, like, when I'm playing the game itself, I also will collaborate or discuss with the audience, like, okay, what should I do here? Should I do this? Should I not do this? And then, of course, you have this back and forth interaction between me and the audience, and that's the interaction that I like.
Yeah, I like that idea of interaction. That's kind of what Michael and I think about whenever we're doing streams, whenever we want to differentiate it between just watching a video or listening to a podcast versus watching a stream, because with the stream, there's the audience right there. There's you guys. And having a way to interact with the audience is always going to be that's the key to why someone would want to watch a stream rather than a YouTube video.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome over to the chat. Also, I need to say, man, I need to bring out my pen and paper because I had to listen hard. I had to listen carefully to interpret. 我只是说我要拿出一本书，然后我的
You want to go grab it real quick? I can. I'm
okay. I'll just type down my notes. Yeah, I really I'm not an interpreter. That's why like it's actually hard for me. But anyway, sorry. Continue, Pukan.
Okay. I want to add like a little bit on the how to say like a content planning and stuff like that, because I mean I kind of understand like this podcast was kind of like, you know, to get like a little bit deeper thoughts on how streaming going and like the thought process and everything. But at the same time, I believe that maybe like some people out there that want to start streaming was also listening to this thing. I just want to add like a little bit of a quick mental note for those who listening and maybe feeling a little bit intimidating on what we were talking about, like, oh, there's a lot of things going on to do streaming, like, oh, this is so hard thing to do. And what I want to say is like the core principle of streaming as its core is that you just need to be happy on what you're doing first.
Yes,
the people that coming to watch your stream, I mean, you can pull off like, you know, a super good content. That's also the thing that, you know, people want to do as well. But at the same time, just to have a thing that, you know, you are happily doing it. And when you are happy, people that watching you will be happy. Like, I mean, from my cases, I can say as well that people, when they want to watch your stream, they just want to watch you having fun. So at the end of the day, just pick something that, you know, you are having fun, you are enjoying doing it. And when you're having fun, when you're having joy, your joy will be eventually spreading to, you know, the people that are watching as well. So no need to stress out on, you know, what, like, oh, do I need to have like a banger content? Do I need to, you know, do something for the content for the viewer? I mean, that's also the thing that you could do as well. But, you know, just keep it fun. Just keep it something that you generally enjoy, because streaming is not easy. I mean, I can say this one first, that streaming is certainly not easy. So at least to have a thing that you actually enjoy while doing streaming, because there's going to be a lot of tons of, you know, things that you will ever make you not happy. So at least pick the game that will make you happy first. That is like, you know, the number one thing that you should do.
Yeah. I don't think anyone should set out to do something that they don't want to do. I think that, especially if this is well I'm speaking from the perspective of the Foxburger podcast. Like, we don't make money off of this. This is just purely volunteer work. This is a hobby. But you have to like it, right? You have to like it. Like, no one's going to force you to do the podcast. You have to just want to be able to produce the content. You have to like the content. You have to like your guests. And I think, like, if you don't like what you're doing, every day will feel like a chore. Or at least when you do the content, when you make the content, feel like a chore. But I do want to just make a quick mental note. Not really mental note, but just maybe just like a reminder. We do have Pink Cat here as a guest, so well, maybe two things. One, can you speak a little bit slower, Pukan? And then two, maybe just shorten your responses a little bit, just to give him a chance to talk as well.
Okay, sure.
I'm totally fine. Like, I love the information. It's just
no worry.
I want to balance the time. Okay. So we can move on to was it Pink Cat? Or did we move on to the next question? Was it the next?
我补充一点 ，Fox， 我补充一个最严重的反例。为什么说不要玩自己最不喜欢的游戏？我举我自己最大的反例出来。我为什么对恐怖游戏那么排斥？原因是因为我第一次玩那个 Outlast， 我在一个地方卡了2个小时，就只在那边走圈圈，就因为我不敢继续往下走。这2个小时，我就是一直在那边绕圈圈，然后跟按电梯看上面的尸体掉下来。因为我实在是太害怕玩恐怖游戏，可是在那当下，观众会看着你发呆2个小时，这就是当你今天去玩你不愿意玩的游戏的时候会发生的结果。所以真的就像普卡还有我还有像你们讲的，你必须热衷于你现在手头上的事情，你才有办法去娱乐别人，也同时让你自己看，这是很重要的。对，就这样。
Okay. PK, I'll speak in the first person. I'll say I. I do want to add something, and that is, when I'm picking games, sometimes I may not initially like that game, but when I'm actually streaming, it seems to give my audience a sense of joy when I'm under pressure or when I'm scared. And so maybe when I pick this game, it's I don't find it that interesting, or maybe I find it very difficult, but at least my audience gets something out of it. You know, maybe to get kicks out of my joy or my fear, and I like seeing my audience happy. So you know, like, there's also that aspect.
Yeah, that's honestly a mentality that I've shared as someone who has performed on stage as a musician. It's just if the audience can feel that you're enjoying yourself on stage and they can connect with that that feeling that you have, that passion that you're giving out, then that's the key to a good performance, at least as a musician. And it's interesting that that is the same kind of thing, or at least something similar, whenever you're doing like any sort of public speaking or entertaining through just like VTubing or streaming or whatnot.
I mean, after all, streaming is also an entertainer. Like, I just feel like I just feel like this is like the part that a lot of people missed out when it comes to streaming. That there's a lot of a different in mentality between YouTuber and streamer, because like when it comes to streamer itself, we practically need to keep the audience engaging, and the thing is that we just need to be an entertainer. So anything that falling into the entertainer categories, I think is pretty much like the same mentality that you just need to carry over.
I mean, you do the same thing for making YouTube videos, though. I mean, if you're making entertaining videos, you would still have to be entertaining.
I mean, it's not just something you need. That's true, but you have a second take. You can just edit it out.
But that's more like, then you're saying that's making bloopers. I'm just saying that you both have to be entertaining, right? Like, then you're saying taking out bloopers and removing mistakes. I'm just saying the content regardless has to be entertaining.
Oh yeah,
like I mean, because even though I don't normally do YouTube videos, like I want to watch entertaining YouTube videos. It's not just that only streamers are entertaining and then YouTubers can't be. It's just they both have to be entertaining. I feel there's a little bit overlap. There's a little bit more overlap there.
Yeah. I think a separation for that is a single standalone video needs to have maybe replayability as well. It's not just you can watch something continuously. It's just, are you able to watch it over and over again and still get that feeling of joy or whatever feeling that you get whenever you enjoy your... What am I saying? I'm sorry, I got a little bit lost in my words.
It's okay.
It could also be
you get what I mean,
It could also be like an informative video, but we're just talking more about entertaining. But then again, there's also infotainment, right? You can make a video that's informative and entertaining. As a YouTuber.
I think that like the thing that pretty much like a separation between making YouTube video. I'm gonna say YouTuber. I'm just gonna say like make a video and streaming. Streaming is some sort of it's kind of like a performing. It's kind of like a performing act. So basically, is that everything need to be on the spot kind of thing. But in YouTube, it can be scripted. So this is kind of like the thought that I feel. I'm not saying that like making YouTube
performance is also like scripting is also a performance. Like when you have a script, you also perform the script.
Yes.
Right. Like that's also a performance.
I don't know what is the word to put here, but maybe kind of like a more like a impromptu kind of
maybe more impromptu.
More like
maybe
an impromptu performance.
Yeah. I mean, they both have to be entertaining, but maybe one is more impromptu than the other.
That's true.
Because if I'm a voice actor, I have to act the script. I'm acting, like I'm performing. I'm adding emotions to my words, and I'm being entertaining, or sad, or happy. And I think both making a video and being a streamer, you have to have both. Like both sides like have to have that. It's just maybe one is more impromptu than the other. We can move on to our next question.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Our next question. So I think this is a really good one. Why do you think furries, in particular people from the furry fandom, would be drawn to like what you do, Pukan and Pinkcat? Like what exactly would the draw be for watching a virtual furry avatar do things on Twitch and whatnot? Like what exactly would be drawing them into that?
I think like this is kind of like the one that I already talked about earlier, but I'll just say it again. That for us furry, we are very familiar with the concept of personas, right? So we are familiar with the concept of to being oneself that is not actually us in real life. We have like our virtual identity. So therefore, for furry to become a VTuber, we just snatch our persona and just like slap it and just like, yep, we are VTubers now. So
yes.
so it's just something that I would say that is super easy for us to get into it mentality wise, comparing to like a conventional VTuber, like all those like demigod VTubers out there. So yeah, that probably gonna be pretty much it. It just pretty much the same thing. I mean, at least for me, unless that you want to forge like an entirely new persona or characters that you want to be role playing in, that maybe it's not your persona, but you want to be some kind of fox god that doesn't actually exist, and you want to role play into it. That's also one thing to keep consider. But yeah, pretty much is persona VTuber, pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
And Pink Cat, do you also have any thoughts on this? Like, what do you think people, furries in particular, want to watch your streams?
First, I think, of course, I think the cute or handsome streamer to let his avatar might be cute or might be so handsome. So they will catch our eyes first, yes. But I think that 我们这个之前讲过we talked about this before. But the most important thing is your stream content. Your stream content, how do you react your viewer and how you play your game? If you enjoy your game, they will make your viewer like you much more. So the most important thing is your content, I think. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So would you two also have the same sort of connection, or like eyes glued to the screen, whatever you would call that, towards other, like, is that how you feel when you watch another furry VTuber or streamer as well?
Like, yes.
Personally, for me, I don't think it's generally applying that it needs to be furry VTuber in general. I think like it basically pretty much any streamer. It's just that VTuber bring certain advantages into the content aspect in general, that you can be whatever you want. You can have a more interactable element into it, but at its core, I think it's still the same mentality applying to streamer in general as well. That kind of like the way that you convey, the way that you make your content and things like that, or the way that people expecting things from you and things like that. Like, I mean, like, it's not that us VTuber get a pass on certain thing, as such as like, you don't need to be looking good to be VTubers. I mean maybe because we can be anyone under this model. I mean that's also a thing,
right?
But at the same time, we still need to be entertaining. It's not just like because we are looking cute and because we're looking adorable, so we don't need to be entertaining. No, that was wrong. That's the part you are wrong. We still need to bust our ass off to be entertaining. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if you're not entertaining or you don't match your model, I feel like then it's too deadpan. I feel like there's no liveliness to your model, like or if your voice or personality doesn't match it, I feel like there's a disconnect. I feel like you have to be entertaining. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Or match the model, because otherwise then it's just being stiff all the time. And
I would say that at least the appearance itself, kind of like what is it doing that attracting people to the stream, but at the same time, don't look at it as like the only thing that will have. I agree. Yeah. It can be like the other way around. Yep.
Yeah, not just the looks.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it, as it's something that looks nice, but also having the personality or the passion and excitement to back it up. Otherwise, it will be deadpan. Yeah.
True.
I want to ask a question. I think this is mainly for Pukan though. When you go live, when you live stream, does that have any relation to when you first do? Like, do you have like the same personality?
A little bit, but not really. Kind of like it's still I mean, depends on people how they're first doing as well. For me, I generally enjoying to be kind of like act it out a bit. I will be like a little bit kind of a little bit more energetic. in my fursuit, and that sort of personality kind of, I don't know, the same thing as when you VTuber. I mean, at least for me, because I like to be a little bit more energetic as myself. It's still me, but kind of like 100%, 150% me, things like that. This is kind of like the part that is the same, but at the same time, fursuiting, it's just, walking around and looking cute. VTuber, you need to be actually entertaining. Like throughout the time.
Some fursuiters don't talk. Some fursuiters,
some fursuiters also don't talk. Yeah,
like there's that like limiting factor, I guess.
Yeah,
like you're technically not supposed to talk as a fursuiter. I'm sorry. Does Pukan, do you have a fursuit? I didn't get to ask.
I have yes, I have fursuit. His name is Mocha, but Mocha is African. Yes, African.
Oh, African wild dog. Yeah.
Yes. His name is Mocha. Yeah, so that is a different character, totally different. So but like Pukan say, when we are in fursuit, we are just being cute, adorable. Even we won't talk. Yes, but in VTubing, we need entertainment. We need to play game. That is totally different thing. Yes. Okay.
I do want to tell everybody, please save your questions. Well, go ahead and ask any questions you want to ask right now, and maybe we'll catch them at the end of the stream. So we're about 1 hour in, so I just want to go ahead and tell guys, in about 30-40 minutes, we'll be doing the Q&A session. So go ahead and like save your questions. You can send them right now if you really wanted to, but just go ahead and save any questions that you have, and we'll get to them in about like 20-30 minutes. Oh, Tail join. I just saw Tail join, and I saw Nori join and some other guys. So welcome to the stream. 27 viewers. Yeah. Thank you guys.
I'm seeing actually 33
on your phone. Okay, sweet. 33.
Yeah. Tail is. It's funny that Tail showed up, because when we interviewed him basically for our Infernity panel, Furries from Abroad, he had a VR character as well that he used.
He asked me to do that. He didn't want to do his fursuit. Tail, you can tell us if I'm right or wrong, but I think you said you wanted to be in VR. And then I remember the scene. Tail was the beginning of the scene with the plane. That was when it came in, and then Alder smashed the plane.
Oh yeah,
the plane with his right hand. I think he was like, boom.
Yeah.
I love that video. Oh gosh, man, we need. I wish there was a way for us to like roll that right now.
Yeah, I loved putting that in, and I appreciate that was actually your idea.
I forgot why I put it in. Like I was like, because it looked like it when they were talking about like traveling. I don't know why, but when Alder did the boom, I was like, you know what, like put a plane in there, man. Like I hope this isn't a bad show. But thank you. Welcome, Tail. Welcome. Which is like the first time he joined the stream, so that makes me suspicious.
All
right.
Maybe he's doing a bit of research.
Is Tail a VTuber? Like I just know he does VR chat. Is Tail, are you a VTuber?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy. I don't know how exactly the process is importing your VR chat avatar into like VC Face and using that to VTube. But it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, people have done it before.
I mean, I'm just asking. I'm not saying he's difficult or not. I'm just asking if he is.
Yeah, he's a VTuber. Yeah.
Oh, now? Yeah, he is now? He's a VTuber.
Yeah, he is a VTuber.
Yeah,
right.
Everyone's on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the bandwagon is like a year.
Yeah, everyone's on the bandwagon.
It's been a while now.
Everyone's on the bandwagon, dude.
Yeah. Actually, good that you brought that up, because it seems like this has been a trend that has been going up since the beginning of COVID. Yeah, because people, it really started during COVID, but it really ramped up during COVID, just because everyone was staying at home, locked down, quarantining, and like trying to stay safe and staying inside. And when all of your entertainment is not outside but inside, and bringing that out to like Pukan, you also mentioned that you basically started VTubing because of the lockdown and the quarantine and all that. So I think that's I think that's a really important aspect to think about with like VTubing. It's and its history. Even though like there have been VTubers that have come out I think the first one ever was Kitsune Ai, but that was more of a virtual YouTuber rather than a virtual streamer. I don't think she streams.
And what year did that start? Like, because I don't know much about VTubing, guys. So like, I'm curious. So like, what year was?
So
did that
Kitsune Ai, I believe, started 2017.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Quite new. I feel this phenomenon.
Yeah, and then since then there have been people trying to spin off from that, particularly like companies like HoloLive and VShojo and all that. VShojo is more newer than HoloLive, I think. But yeah, I'm actually curious. Like, so you two mentioned watching HoloLive VTubers before as part of your inspiration. Do you have any favorites?
For me, currently, it's probably gonna be Mori Calliope and then Suisei. Mori Calliope is a part of a whole live EN. She was, the demigod, the Satan, and we have Suisei, which is a Japanese whole life VTubers. That's kind of that's like the two that I've been watching before I start doing streaming myself.
Right. Yeah. And what about you, Pink Cat?
我需要翻译。
He says that he needs someone to help him translate. But what was your original question, Burger?
Just what your favorite VTuber person is outside of yourself.
应该听得懂吧？
他是在问我说我喜欢哪一个 VTuber 吧？
对，最喜欢的。
我喜欢的那个他可能大家不太知道，他是来自于美国，但因为他也是因为兴趣把自己的设定做起来，然后因为我真的很喜欢他的声音，
是 Furry 的吗？是 Furry 的吗？
是 yes。那我用他的贴图，对我用他的贴图在 Twitch 你们的聊天室，这位是 Zen， 对，然后我在 Twitch 上认识他，我们有一起玩过游戏，在彼此的生日会上我们有合作过，然后他人真的很好。然后就像我说的，他虽然是把自己的皮套上去，但是因为他的内容就跟大家互动性很高，他也是 DBD 玩家，所以我才会喜欢。
Yeah,
再加上他的声音听起来是个帅哥。
Okay. One of my favorite YouTubers is actually this person who I threw this sticker into the this emote into the Twitch chat. Xanax Smug. And then he also played what was it, Dead by Daylight, and that's one reason why I like him. And also he sounds very handsome. Insert laugh.
Well, I guess he sounds handsome, but do you know, it's like his avatar, does that match his handsomeness of his voice as well?
Are you asking Pink Cat or me?
Pink Cat.
他说你觉得他的脸配合他的声音吗？配得上哦。
我其实因为我们很熟，所以后来他有拍他真人照，真的蛮帅的，而且配得上。
He says, yeah, the voice matches the face, and also like I'm friends with him, I'm familiar with him, and he has sent me an IRL picture before, and yeah, he looks handsome.
All right, yeah. All right, good to know. So, Pink Cat, currently you're doing more like Dead by Daylight, but is that your favorite thing to stream? But and if it's not, what is your favorite thing? What are your favorite things that you like to stream, or your favorite kinds of content that you do?
Actually, I have a second 目标叫 target 嘛，我有点不太清。
Yeah, 目标。
Okay, the second target about my streaming because
goal， 我们说 goal。
什么东西？
Oh, a second goal.
目的是。
second goal because in my life I have 很多人帮助过我，不管是在 in real life or streaming 上面，所以我因为受过很多人的帮助，所以我也想借由实况上面，当有人来提出他生活上的问题的时候，因为我这个故事会有点长，因为我的过往经历比较特殊，求学过程还有家庭的状况非常的特殊，所以我遇过很多奇奇怪怪的事情，跟还蛮多挫折， 所以因为至少我走过来了，而且我第二个目的在实况上面就是我希望那些年轻朋友，或者是在社会上这些我认识的新朋友或老观众们，他们在我的直播台上，当他们遇到问题的时候问我，我可以帮助到他们。其实这是我第二个最大的目的。
你是说第二个目的就是因为很多人帮助过你，所以你直播的时候，你也会怎么说？欢迎有人问你问题，因为你想要帮助他们。
对，因为我其实这件事情已经，因为我在Vtubing 上面已经其实也做跟Pukan差不多，甚至就是差不多时间，也差不多1年多。那实际上真的开始有一些人在看了以后，他们有些是学生，有些是社会人士，当他们遇到就是生活上的困难，或者学业上的困难，或者是有问题的时候，他们求助我，会把我的方法分享给他们，然后并询问一些状况，然后说，你可能适合什么，要去找谁帮忙。对。
Okay. All right, I'll translate this. In my life, a lot of people have actually helped me in the past, and as a way of giving back to that kind of help, not really giving back to the community, but just like paying it forward, I should say. As a way to pay it forward, I feel that during my own streams, like I welcome people to ask me questions, or tell me about their problems, and maybe I can help solve these issues, or maybe I can get them to, maybe I can direct them to someone else to help solve their issues that they're having.
All right, yeah, that's an interesting to bring up.
So
I guess
as a therapist, because
I didn't quite want to go in that direction.
我忘记 therapist 中文叫什么，我要查一下。
direct 的方向
是 therapist 是治疗师吗？
治疗师，我不知道。
就是我就是刚才开一个开玩笑。
Yeah, because I think there are some streamers, not VTubers, but some streamers that actually are like therapists, and they talk about like with their audience and how to be healthy and mindful and well and all that.
Yeah, there is one.
心理治疗,
yeah. So
I like
Pukan,
that. Yeah, do a good thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask the question.
Yeah, so Pukan, do you have any thoughts on this as well?
You mean as in can you repeat again? Like on like what?
Well, okay, so I think basically the question is like what would be your favorite thing about, like, what's your favorite thing to do on your streams?
My stream is very much random, I guess. Like, I mean, like for me, like my current content right now is I'm mostly a VR streamer, but in general sense is basically just chatting. So yeah, I would say like mostly for me it's mostly just just chatting and just kind of like vibing with the community, things like that, talking about daily life and on kind of like what do I think on certain topics and opinion and stuff like that. That's kind of like my content right now as of today. And sometimes I still doing playing some games, but pretty much it's just chatting. I would say like pretty much it's just chatting. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it seems like there are just two different kinds of ways of how would I say it, like feeding off of social energy. One is just like wanting to help out people and bring them to help, and then the other one is just wanting to just be social and be friendly with people.
I would say that helping other people isn't, I mean, like this is my perspective, but I think I just kind of like want to like add on this one that by helping people, is it like mentally helping, or is it like
I think what Burger's trying to do is summarize what Pink Cat said. Is it Burger was trying to summarize what Pink Cat was saying, but you can still respond to the question.
Because I just want to kind of like make sure of like what kind of like helping, because like as I heard before, it's kind of like mentally helping, right? Kind of like if you have a bad day, you can talk to me, kind of things like that. Is it like what Pink Cat was saying before? I want to add it to this one because it might be getting a little bit problematic, so I want to add it for now. That usually for streamers, like in general sense, we have the if you're going to watch someone stream, you can talk about it, but most for most cases, if you have something that like generally not so good about that day, it's actually etiquette that you keep it to yourself, because it's like this. Like for most part, I'll keep it short, but for most part, when people doing streaming, is that they are trying their best to kind of like be an entertainer and stuff like that. I would say that not every streamers are okay with people venting on the chat. We have a word called trauma dumping, and
Trauma dumping, right.
yeah, it's an actual word. And in general sense, in a stream, in like a Twitch Twitch manner, please don't trauma dumping on streamers, because it's very hard for them to kind of like coping with what people to say. Some streamer are okay with it, such as Pink Cat. I mean, like some streamer is okay with handling trauma dumping, but in general sense, this is not something that actually not okay to do. So if you ever if you ever if you are familiar with a streamer and you know that this streamer is like okay with you doing it, it's totally okay. Like there's nothing against it. It's just kind of like just to at least let other people that may be watching the stream know that maybe like they were listening to Pink Cat, like, oh, okay, now today I'm gonna be talking about how bad and how sad my life is on my favorite streamer, and just like no, don't do that. Please don't do that. It's not okay to do. But but if you know that they're okay with it, you can do it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Okay.
I don't think I have much to add. Did you want to add to that, Burger?
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to think about, just because, streamers, VTubers, YouTubers, whoever, they're real life people, just like you and me and everyone else. So obviously treating them differently and treating them to be some sort of like outlet for whatever is going on that's really stressing you out or bumming you out, like that just depends on the person and like if they're okay with it or not, just like you said.
Yes.
We are not professionals. Please say.
Yeah. I think that's yeah. I think like you summed it up nicely, Pukan. Yeah, when you're giving out advice again, like these, unless they say they are a professional, like streamers aren't like professional therapists. I think that's really the point of Pukan is what he's trying to say.
Fox， 我补充一下。
OK，
福坎刚刚说的那个就是。不是每一个人都可以来到任何一个 streamer or VTuber 说我今天有个很不好的遭遇或干嘛之类，因为你要先看这个台主能不能这么做，你要到不同的地方你就必须遵守他的规则，而不是说我一进来就丢了一大堆情绪垃圾给，这个当然是不行，因为我知道你们现在观众里面有一些是中文的，所以这个观念很重要。那第二点就是以我这边方面来讲，实况主其实也要负责说，你今天帮人建议了，你要跟他讲清楚说，你今天讲了什么话，你就要负责。实况主不是说我今天讲完我就没事了，我不用负责，不是。今天你要帮人解决问题，你解决问题你就必须负起说，你说的这个答案是要负责任的，不是说我今天随便讲一讲就没事，这个观念也很重要。对，这个很
好，
会不会太难翻译？
我可以。Pink. I agree with most of what Pukan has said. I think that you have to look at the rules and regulations of what that streamer has. Look at their rules and see if you can or cannot trauma dump.
Yes.
Trauma dump, right? Yeah, trauma dump.
Trauma dump.
And so, be careful about that. Know what your streamer is first, and then. The second point I want to mention is words have power. Words have power, so you must be responsible for your actions. Actions have consequences. So, when you're giving advice, you have to be careful about what you say. You are held responsible for what you say. Yeah.
Yes.
Well put.
Is there something I missed? I think that's
good. It's good. It's very good.
我头很痛。I just tell you my head hurts. No, I'm good. I'm okay. I just need more matcha. You guys know that? Like I drink all my matcha. Now I'm gone.
I mean, you wouldn't be the matcha fox if you weren't a big fan of matcha, right?
Oh, I forgot to tell Pink Cat. Thank you. My name is not Fox, Pink Cat. My name is Michael.
Okay.
But you can call me Fox. Like my normal friends call me Fox, but my friends call me Michael. and then for some
Okay.
reason people now call me Matcha, even though that's not my name. But I don't.
Yeah,
Technically not my name.
there's also a matcha fox also in Taiwan, I think.
I know there's a matcha wolf. Is there an actual matcha fox in Taiwan?
Matcha wolf, right? Sorry.
Yeah, that guy's a streamer too. 对不对？好像有一个抹茶狼，然后他也是那个 streamer， 对不对？是不是？
好像有听过，好像
因为他有来那个宜兰的那1月的宜兰
啊，
他是抹茶狼，对不对？
好像有，但我不确定是不是真的叫抹茶狼。对，因为现在直播的人太多了，真的很多。
Okay. Yeah, we're just saying there's a guy, Elon. I wish I could just flash a picture. I'll try to find it later, but like there's a guy who went to Elon in January, and he's a wolf whose name is Matcha, I think. I think he's more into VR chat than streaming, but I think he does do streaming. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, if that's his real name or not, but I think his name is Matcha. And I remember a guy called Chiao. You guys probably know who he is, probably not Burger. But there's a guy called Chiao, a Malaysian fur, who goes a lot on VR chat. And I remember Chiao thought like, hey, is this you? There's a guy called Matcha. I was like, no, that's the real Matcha. Like, I'm the one who came after him. He's like he's the actual Matcha. I'm just like the fake. But he's a wolf.
The OG Matcha Fox.
Yeah, he's the OG. Yeah, he's a wolf though. But we look like if you look at his fursuit, I would not fault you if you think he's a fox. He looks more like a wolf, but anyway. Yeah.
So I actually have a question I want to bring up, and this kind of relates to the history of VTubing and streaming as well. So companies like Hololive and VShojo and stuff, those mainly oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the word, but basically those are more based around either in East Asia or in the West. So, but there's also like a Hololive ID. I think that's Indonesia. So basically the main markets, that's good. The markets for VTubing seem to be like English speaking or Japanese speaking or some sort of Asian, East Asian or Southeast Asian kind of language. So this may be like a more global concept as niche as it is. But do either you, Pukan, or Pinkat, do you think that the idea of VTubing or the passion towards VTubing, is it more of an Asian concept or is it more of a Western one?
I would say that it originated from the Asian. I mean, yeah, because it's kind of like, I mean, it's all like all the weeb stuff, just like, to be a cute moe girl and things like that. But at the same time, I think it's pretty much is like general sense. Like it's pretty much the same thing. I don't think that it have like a differentiate between Japanese weeb. I mean, we'll get more into that later because that's gonna be a long topic. But to say that the myself like VTubing itself, I can say that it originated from like the Eastern side, but what people do VTubing on a Western, is it different from what Eastern do? I would say in its core it's pretty much the same. It's just a little bit of like a itty bitty manner and stuff like that maybe some people keep it a bit more serious in terms of like their own personal etiquette and stuff like that, but it's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same.
Yeah, I like the way you explained that. Now, Pinkcat, would you want a translation for that, or do you pretty much understand the question?
I need translation. Thank you.
All right, what is the question?
All right.
Can you repeat the question?
Well, the question was, do you feel that VTubing, either furry or otherwise, is more of an Eastern or a Western concept?
你觉得 VTubing 这个概念是来自亚洲吗？还是西方？
这个问题很难呢，因为这个问
This question is fucking hard, man. Why are you asking me?
因为这个需要追溯到非常非常久以前，甚至会引起一些战争。因为之前不是有人开玩笑说初音也是 VTuber， 然后有人就说初音只是个程式，这些东西，对，这个其实会掀起世界大战，因为这个东西就只是一个概念。对，那它来自于哪里？如果真的要说，那就是大家最常知道的始祖就是 AI 嘛。 你们刚刚好像也有讲到这个，所以如果你真的要讲，其实这需要做一点 study， 这需要去做研究。说如果真的要来，这个 idea 来自于哪里？实际上，如果以目前我所知道，这是我知道不一定是正确的，那应该是从日本开始。对，应该是。可是这个东西我觉得需要去考证，说不定更久以前早就有人在做，只是没有红起来，所以大家不知道。对，这个太难讲了，对，也是。
This question is very difficult. I feel. I think that this question can also start a lot of arguments and controversy. Where exactly did VTube begin? If you had to ask me for my answer right now, I think that VTubing began in Japan. But of course, like this kind of thing requires more studies and some more research.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's a interesting way to put it. Just because it's such a newer concept, I would appreciate if there was more study towards its history and in its process.
I mean, you can do. You seem to be super into VTubing. You should do that study. I mean, I like history, but I don't know if I could go and do a study over the history of VTubing. I think that's a really cool study to do.
Yeah.
I was gonna, if I had to put a bet on it, I think it comes from Japan as well.
Yeah.
I think it comes from Japan. I'm gonna put money on it. Like I'll actually bring out my wallet and I'll bet you like 1,000 NTT that it came from Japan, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a bit of a. I think there is a bit of a joke in that. Are any of you familiar with this one YouTuber, The Annoying Orange?
Yes.
And
okay.
Yeah, there's a bit of a joke in that technically that's the first VTuber.
The Annoying Orange. Oh my god, dude, that guy's so annoying. The Annoying Orange, like why was that a thing, man?
Hey,
you know.
Hey.
I don't know. This was during the beginning years of YouTube. It's more experimental form of like people just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Mm-hmm. That started in 2009. I just looked it up. The Annoying Orange.
Yep. All right. Is it time? Yeah, I think it's time we can probably start taking some questions from the audience.
Yes, please. So, audience, you have any questions directed at Pinkcat, Pukan, or VTubing in general? Please submit them now.
I actually see one from it was a previous comment. This person had to seems like they might have had to leave early, but basically their question was, how common is it for either you, Pukan, or Pinkcat to have Western viewers for your streams?
Pinkcat can go first on this one.
Pinkcat 先讲。
他刚刚的问题可以帮我翻译一下，有一点点不清楚。
Say one more time, Burger.
One more time. How often do you have Western viewers?
你观众来自西方的观众有多少？比如说常常有吗？还是偶尔有？
其实蛮常有，尤其是最近有变多的趋势。有些来，
但是因为你开始用英文吗？还是就是他们喜欢猫？
对，他们一开始都是觉得我的皮很可爱，然后他们就开始直接在我聊天室讲英文，然后他们发现我会用英文回他，虽然我英文很破，对，但是他们发现你愿意跟他讲话，他们就会待在聊天室，所以最近他们就会朋友一个拉一个，所以如果真的要说的话，他现在大概占了4分，真的会有
40%。
对，1/4的话，25%而已，25%没有那么多。
25%，
对，25%。
Okay. Yeah. Like. Quite a bit. As of late, there's been several Westerners who've been joining my stream. I think it's probably at first because they think that my avatar is really cute, and then later they realize that I can speak a little bit of English, even though my English is poor. But the fact that I'm willing to speak English is kind of what keeps them coming. So currently, I would say I think Westerners comprise about 25% of my audience, my viewership.
Yeah, I was interested in how you were going to answer that at first because you mainly speak in Chinese throughout your streams. So I don't know a lot of people, a lot of furries that who are Westerners who have enough of a handle of the Chinese language to want to actively seek out a streamer that mainly speaks in Chinese and is also like a furry VTuber or whatever. But I guess then we could pass it over to
let me ask
Pukan.
Pinkat. Let me ask Pinkat if you understood what
Oh,
you
yeah.
said. Pinkat,
Yeah,
你
yeah.
听得懂吗？
我刚刚听不太懂，就有一些
He said, "No, I don't understand. Help me."
Okay,
help me.
I'll slow down. I'm sorry.
No, I think I got it. I think I got it.
Yeah.
他说我也很好奇你的回答，因为我知道你多半的时间会用中文，我是说在直播之后，你通常会用中文，但是如果你有一些非母语者、非中文母语者，然后他们一看到你的直播，就觉得如何？因为如果他们真的没办法跟你沟通，那怎么办？所以这是为什么 Burger 说他觉得非常好奇耶。
我确认一下，他现在是在问说，就是我的他们今天来到我频道，但是我都讲中文，但他们的第一个动作是什么？是吗？就是他们想要跟我聊。
他就是他觉得你的回答蛮有趣，他不是再问一个问题，就是他的回答蛮有趣，他觉得25%这个数字蛮有趣的，因为他觉得如果他们不会用中文跟你沟通，那为什么他们一直看你？所以他就是觉得25%很有趣，这个数字算大吧。
OK，
他的
我稍微简单回答一下 Burger 的问题，
okay，
就是虽然那不是问题，但是就是因为他们一开始进来的时候，我会跟他们打招呼，他们会 say hi。我通常看到 ID 跟他们 say hi， 然后会后面有时候会带一点点英文，我就知道啊，这是外国朋友，或者他们只单纯 say hi 的话，那我就会先用中文跟他们打招呼，同时用英文跟他们打招呼，两个会一起讲。对，就会说，现在谁谁谁来到了粉猫窝，大家不要忘记跟他打声招呼 ，say 个 hi， 然后或者说，everyone，somebody is coming to my stream， don't forget to say hi to my new friend， 这谁谁谁就会讲他 ID 出来，然后他们听到这样子以后，他们就会开始用英文。对，然后他们就会在适当的时机跟你互动，他们会发现，你今天这场游戏结束了，然后他们发现你中文也讲到一半，或者他们会找适当时机再跟你讲。对，所以他们还是会留在聊天室，大部分就是有一些外国观众会。
Okay. Yeah. I just want to briefly add that. How do I say this? Let me think. When those non-Chinese speakers, when those Westerners join my stream, I usually like to say hi, and I actually use Chinese first, and then I use English, and then that probably gives them the cue that okay, I they know that I can now speak a little bit of English, and that probably makes them feel a bit more welcome to stay. Obviously, if I just kept on speaking in Chinese, then they would probably just leave. But since they know I can speak a little bit, like I'll say something, oh, who joined, and I'll read aloud their username, like who joined, so that way they feel recognized and they're noticed, something like that. I also like Pinket's English. Yeah, the compolos, the compollos. Yeah, I like Pinket's English too.
Yeah.
He's the example about my.
He's the example. That guy's the example. All right.
So Pukan, since you mainly stream in English, I would guess that you have typically you have more Western viewers, I think.
Actually, yes, but I mean, to answer the question, is it common to have Western viewer? I mean, yes. I mean, first of all, if it's speaking like generally in terms of what is it called again, like furry Vtuber, right? The market itself was pretty much circulated inside the US, and those who have a larger numbers of concurrent viewers is those who cater to US audience. So I can say for myself as well that in the day that there's a lot of an influx from a user base watching my stream. Most of it is undeniably to be from US, and there's also like going to be a little bit from here and there, like in the Western country, in the Europe country as well, things like that. So I would say, yeah, I mean it's common. It's just common to have Western viewer, and also to have a larger audience. Usually it's those who are catered to more of a convenient time for those in the Western time zone to be able to watch themselves as well, things like that.
Yeah. Now, as just a add-on question here, how many Thai viewers do you usually have?
I'm curious too. I'm curious.
To be honest though, my stream is actually a very good mix of stuff. I mean, like, okay, for me, I was streaming in a time that's apparently a little bit too early for US viewers, although I did also have a lot of US viewers in my stream as well. So it kind of like 2020 in the current state right now. It's kind of like I mean, if I pull up my dashboard and looking at it, Thai viewers like 20% of my viewership. Another 20% is from US, and around like 50 to 60% is from Taiwan, and the rest is kind of like composing of many countries. But for other streamers that I know that also also a Thai streamer as well, they pretty much compose of like US viewer, maybe like 50 or 60% of their viewership. I'm kind of in the middle between. I'm the part of like the both world. I'm part from the Asian time zone and also the US time zone. So
Right.
I'm like a bridge between two. So, but it also bring me like a certain difficulty that I need to also kind of like balancing my time zone, my content between two time zones to be able to like make them both able to watch my stream, things like that.
Yeah, I understand. So Michael, do you want to take Gantos's question in the chat?
Sure. Gantos says, well, it's a little bit of a tangential question, but I'll still ask it. Yeah, the rain. I'm doing okay. There's been a lot of rain here, and well, first he says that there's been a lot of rain. Are you guys okay? That's his first question.
I'm dry.
I'm okay.
I'm dry. Pink. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pink, I understand. Thank God. And then his next question is, did Pukan or Pink Cat attend Furality, and how was it attending as a furry VTuber?
I do attend Furry, yes, but most of it I just kind of attending as to meet my friends. I mean, okay. On top of that, it's kind of like this. Furry himself. For those who don't know what is Furry, for those who are listening in the chat right now, Furry is a virtual furry convention hosted in VR chat, which is happening last weekend. Things like that. It was happening like 3 days during the weekend last weekend, and themselves they also have the part of kind of like the meetup session between things. They do have 2 sessions for a streamer like us. They have VTuber meetup, and they have a streamer meetup. I did get to attend VTuber meetup because it was like 10 a.m. in Taiwan, and I happened to woke up at the last hour to go there. It was fun, kind of like get to meet different kind of people. Although because it's a VR chat, so it doesn't act out as like a big room and a lot of people were in. You have multiple small instances. To say it's kind of like a small virtual room which can contain maybe like 30 people inside of it. So it's a little bit hard, to run into like the people that maybe know you and stuff like that. Some VTuber does set up their own, kind of like a meetup session inside Variety as well. For me personally, I didn't get to do it, but I get to meet other of my streamer friends, things like that inside of it. Right. I did run into a few fans that watch my stream, which is thank you very much for doing that. But most of the time, it just to meet my friend, and that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these events are mostly about being social and getting together with people through an online space. So having just a standard meetup as a VTuber, I think that's a good idea.
That's true. But I mean, at the same time, because it's it's a VR chat stuff, so at the same time, the meetup thing, because like one thing that I need to add on is Variety is not a free event. You need to actually pay in order to go inside. And at the same time, is the concept of paying for virtual event is something that not everyone was kind of like want to do that because it seems a little bit
Yes.
like, is it gonna be worth it for me to like spending money? But I was like, for those who do, they have like the goal of what they want from Furry.
Yeah.
Like for those who have like a VR headset, at least for us, we feel like we get to get more out of it comparing to the desktop player, things like that. So we feel like, oh yeah, I mean, it's like $15 for the attendees for the whole weekend. So we think like, yeah, it's okay. It's not like a lot to spend, things like that. So at the same time, the idea of making a meetup inside a variety event kind of not so well received, because in VR chat you can just make your own session anywhere, anytime, and make your own meetup. It doesn't need to be inside a variety kind of things. So yeah.
I think the attendance, the money that goes towards paying for your attendance, that also goes towards a charity as well, if I remember.
Rescue a Fox charity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for that. I need some rescuing.
Now, then we can pass that over to Pink Cat. Have you ever attended Virality?
No. The question is, did you attend the last Virality?
Oh, did you attend the last one? Right.
就很可惜，就 Michael 这边可以帮我翻译一下，因为很可惜，其实我从 COVID 恢复才没有几个礼拜，对，所以而且又再加上才刚康复，所以公司那边再加上直播这边，还有一些台湾受剧活动这边有很多债要还，所以基本上我没有时间参加那个活动，不然去年我有参加。对，上一届的有，对，所以很可，
it was a little bit of it kind of sucks because actually during the last Virality I caught COVID and I was still recovering, so I had to miss out on that event. But I did attend last year's Virality.
Yeah, well, that sucks that you got COVID, but I'm glad that you have recovered from that.
Yeah. I didn't know you caught COVID. I didn't know Pink Cat caught COVID.
Oh no.
I didn't know. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad he's here and recovered.
All right. We do have another question in the chat right here. We already talked a little bit about it when we talked about trauma dumping and all that, but the question basically says, have any of you dealt with parasocial relationships with your fans?
Who would go first?
What?
Probably you, Pukan. Probably.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to explain a little bit more on what is parasocial relationship?
Yeah, if you want.
Go for it.
Okay. So for those who are watching right now, and maybe you're not familiar with the term of parasocial relationship, it basically means when, certain someone as a viewer kind of like forming a feeling for a people, kind of like the public figure, and they kind of feel like a sort of like a genuine connection between them, although this is like not something that the streamer or the public figure themselves intended to give, things like that. So that's kind of like, a person falling in love with streamers, although what streamer act on stream just generally in a sense of, for entertainment and stuff like that. So in my case, I personally doesn't actually get to experience like parasocial relationship, but I would say like this, it depends on the way that like each person kind of, maintaining their audience and something like that. Like for me, the parasocial relationship usually happening when you have like a little bit more larger audience, and maybe sometimes, some people kind of, want to get a little bit more of, the streamer themselves. For me personally, I kind of open about it, as in like, if you want to talk with me as a streamer, I normally don't have any obligation against that. Kind of like, if you want to know me in person, but because this is something that I always say myself as well, that when I do streaming, I didn't fake out to be like a different personality for stream. This is me for me. I'm just a little bit more energetic, but me as a person, I'm still pretty much the same. So if any of my viewers are, I know them for a certain period of time, because, as a streamer, usually you will have like a Discord community, or kind of like, the place that people can get to hang out after the stream. I know that Pink Cat also have their own Discord as well, that, the viewer can get to interact with the streamer off the stream time, things like that. So for me, myself, I'm pretty much fine with viewers, want to get to know me more. I have a lot. I mean, I would say like I have a few, a viewer that I get to talk with them off the stream, and we eventually become friends, things like that. But the general idea that causing the parasocial itself is, when someone was trying to want to be your friend too much. I think it doesn't only applying to streaming in a sense, but it can also apply to, kind of like the popular situation that, you have a large, you become like a very famous pursuer, and then like eventually just like, oh, I love you so much, please marry me, things like that. So it can happen. It just depends on the way you do it. For me, for the question, if I ever, experiencing parasocial relationship, personally, I haven't yet. But yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts on it, things like that.
Yeah. So I guess then we'll translate the question over to Pink Cat then.
Pink Cat，你有听过这个词吗？拟社会人际互动有没有听过？
逆社会人际互动，
对，这个意思就是有可能有某个人，他一直跟着你的怎么说？你的 social media， 比如说推特，然后就是很久跟踪你，有可能3-4年，然后有可能把你当做他的朋友，但是你们并不是没有，所以就是有可能就是他跟你互动的时候会觉得你是他的朋友，所以他的互动就比较怎么说体面一些吧。
就是会比较不尊重一点。
对，有可能你真的不是朋友，所以有一点怎么说假的有一点类似这样的假的互动或者假的聊天。对，然后问题就是你碰过这样的问题吗？
没有，因为其实我聊天室管理的非常的，我老观众都知道，我聊天室管理的非常严格，所以基本上他在我的台的聊天方式，其实我都是以很认真的方式去跟他们聊。他们第一次进来，不管外国朋友可能就会比较没办法感受到，但是也曾经有一位外国朋友问我他生活上的问题，他就突然有点被吓到，因为我回他突然语气变得很严肃。对，所以基本上我在台上面的风格已经养成让他们知道，哦，这个台主不是可以随便这样子开玩笑的状况下的话，那其实我没有遇过这个问题。对，真的没有。当然他们会开玩笑，但他们都知道，他们已经看很久，他们知道我们彼此互动的底线在哪里，他们都能很清楚的知道我跟他互动的底线，他们都能掌握那个底线很准，很精准。我的观众现在都是长这样子，所以我没有遇过这个问题。
Yeah, for most of my viewers, they kind of understand my personality and my style, and so when they enter my stream, you know, like I think that they tend not to act this way. They don't necessarily have this parasocial relationship. They won't idolize me, or they won't like be a false friend. I think they'll just have like normal chatting stuff. There was a time where there's this, I think it was a Western person. There's this Westerner who joined the stream and started asking me like these like questions related to my life or my daily activities, and I kind of just like laughed it off or joked about it. But I have this like sort of personality where like we can joke about this stuff, but I won't actually truly answer in a serious way. So in other words, he hasn't like experienced this parasocial relationship phenomena.
Yeah, and I think I would consider you two lucky that you don't have like super stalker fans at this moment or whatever.
Maybe I think it just.
That's when you know you're famous. That's when you know you're famous.
I think it just depends on how you handle it. I mean, if you ask me, because like for some people, as how to say, it's dialed back to the thing that I said at first, right? Like there's generally like kind of like two type of VTubers. There's the people that put themselves out there as kind of like the real person. Also, it depends on like this. Like there's some VTuber who like not really mind sharing their own faces on stream. I mean, I do share my face on stream before, and generally I would say like for us as a VTuber who kind of showing that we are actually a human behind the screen, things like that. We actually we usually get less parasocial feeling into it as well. And at the same time, as a streamer in general, I was like this is not applied to everyone, but at least for me as a streamer, we also kind of have we try to be a little bit concerning about how do viewer want to have relationship with us. So as I say, it's like this. Like if I have someone watching me, I wouldn't be generally assume that they want to talk with me. This is kind of like the mentality that maybe people will like, oh wow, that's amazing. I watch you, but I don't want to connect with you. And I mean that's true. A lot of viewers also, we just want to watch you as an entertainer. We don't want to connect with you as some sort of things like that.
Yes.
So as for me, as a streamer as well, I would never, kind of like vaguely just DM a viewer in random like, hey, how you doing? Because I mean we also respecting your boundary as well, that maybe not all viewers want to be connect with us like in a personal way, things like that.
Yeah. I don't remember what show it was from, but I heard it best when this basically the one thing bringing people together, the one most important tool of society is respect. Because respect is it's basically just your relationship with other people and how you treat them and what sort of social rules there are to maintain that harmony with each other, and part of that is respect. And
I never had a PSI before. I just want to say that I never had I think I've had 1 or 2 simps, but I've never had a PSI before. That's a good thing, honestly. Yeah.
Wait, what is PSI?
Parasocial interaction.
Oh, I didn't know that was okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was an acronym.
I'm on Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia.
It also depends on whether like the streamer themselves want to make themselves like become like a simpable kind of streamer. That is like the thing that I mean, like at least that's the reason why for me I never get like those kind of like a false intention that I give to viewers.
Especially if you're taken.
I was like not really, but it's just more of kind of like some streamer would kind of like, oh yeah, like hi, how are you doing today? Like try to get a little bit more personal, try to be a little bit more simpable personality. But I mean for me, even as for the person who they didn't review that they were taken or single, it just depends on how you convey the message. Like some people, I would say, I'm not saying that they make the money out of being having a simpable personality. But you do you. I would say like this, like you do you.
Yeah, well, then I want to add my thoughts by what I just said. It's just like, I don't know, if you're taking and you get the all false messages, I feel like that's a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
That would be me. That would make me, maybe not for you, but that would make me feel awkward. It would make my partner feel awkward.
I would feel awkward about it as well. Let's see. Do we have any other questions from the audience?
Yeah, we can do a final call. We are wrapping up our stream. Final call for questions, maybe just like one more, and then I think we'll cap off with our own question, which was the advice question, I believe.
Yeah. Oh. Now, I say I've been able to stay dry. However, because of the humidity, I've been a bit sweaty.
Yeah, so that's why you get VTuber. I can do this without any sweat. I'm literally just like in my t-shirt and a short. I can just like move.
Yeah, Why do I even have a fursuit? I could just have a VTuber avatar. I mean, I kind of had that already when I was first doing YouTube videos. It wasn't a VTuber avatar. It was like a series of like still images of my character on screen.
I like that
different
idea.
Expressions and all that. Yeah.
I talked with you about that before. I really like that idea. Like if you don't want to do animations, you can do a series of stills.
Yeah.
And different emotions, and as you're talking, then like your voiceover, it's a voiceover, right? And then you have like that those set of like images.
Yeah.
As if you were, mimicking it, but I like that idea though.
Yes, and that's also a form of VTubing as well. I think they call that more of a PNG tuber, because you're not using an avatar, you're using like a series of.
I mean, it's still VTuber, but we just kind of like we just call it PNG tuber just for the sake of what it is. But it's still considered as VTuber, because I mean, eventually at the end of the day, anything that I mean, how to say, that you didn't actually put yourself on the screen, we just classify it as a VTuber. It doesn't need to be you have a complete different personality to be a VTuber. It just depends on if you're not human, you're a VTuber. That's it.
Yeah,
I'll just call it that way. Yeah, if you're not human.
Let's move on to our next question. our last question by the Compoyos. This question is I don't know if Pukan has another job. We'll extend this to Pink Cat as well, but I don't know if Pukan has another job. But the question for you both: if you could only work by streaming, assuming you would get enough income, would you do that?
No. Straight up no. I mean, even I would say like this. It depends on the cases. Maybe I'll let Pink Cat go first because I'm gonna get in detail a bit.
Okay, so yeah.
你可以帮 Michael， 你可以帮我稍微翻译一下。
可以。Yeah, but just a note again, Pukan. We do want to wrap up, so just
yeah,
think
sure,
about your
sure. I know.
response,
Yeah.
And then okay, so I'll translate for Pink Cat. 这个问题就是最后一个问题，那个问题就是，如果你可以只工作，你可以当那个 streamer 工作，而且你的收入会够了，那你就会当 streamer 吧，就是不会管理其他的工作，就是那个工作就是你唯一一个工作。
这个问题其实，因为你这个的问题前提是它可以应付我生活上的开支，甚至可能有一点收入，我可以继续投资在我的直播上，这个条件有的吗？
再说一次，
就是因为你刚刚说的是，如果今天做直播为我的本业的话，那如果今天我的收入够，我甚至可以有多一点收入，然后继续投资我的直播上面的内容，是这样子吗？我这边听到的状况。
大概是就是如果你这个工作收入会够的，你会继续有这个工作吗？但是它是你唯一的工作，所以那个条件是假设，是一个假设，条件就是收入一定会够的，你会继续吗？但是它会是你唯一的工作。
唯一的工作，我直接讲我这边的想法，就是如果是的话，其实我会，因为毕竟其实我做这个东西，其实就像我刚刚最一开始说，我在7、8年前我已经做过直播，我在这上面很早就发现我有兴趣，而且在7、8年前那时候没有什么新手教学文，我所有的东西都是自己去国外的论坛网站自己找资料、自己爬资料这些东西。所以对我来说，这个如果可以当职业，我一定会做。但是我已经知道，因为我有朋友不是授权的，是他已经是职业直播主，然后他基本上他就是真的以这个为生，然后他在Twitch上面也是合作伙伴。那他的状况其实他有跟我聊过很多，他说如果你真的想做，你会发现你会比较没有规律的上班时间，它不像一般的动作。但是我听完他讲过的这些，我觉得这些东西都是我可以负担的，就是我愿意投入很大量的时间跟心血在这个上面，因为我就是觉得这就是我想要做，这我爱做的东西。然后我也愿意在上面继续交更多的朋友，甚至是解决更多人的问题。所以如果今天这个假设成立的话，我是一定愿意。对
，Okay. Yeah, I'm very much willing to make this my full-time job. Assuming that I would get enough income. This kind of job is something that I thought about 7 or 8 years ago. And all the stuff I've learned about VTubing and streaming have come from non-Taiwanese forums and websites. So all this quote unquote education is something I learned by myself. I didn't have to go to school for it. But I feel so deeply passionate about VTubing that I would spend. I'm willing to spend a lot of time into this job, and not just time but also money. And I also like the aspect of being able to help other people out and solve people's problems during the stream. I think that keeps me going as well.
Okay, I'll just send my thought then. The reason I'll give it a little bit on a different thought on this one, although please don't take anything personally. It's just that for me it's like this. For the question is if I able to earn enough to like kind of like just leave off streaming, I will say from a perspective that I would say that like my Twitch revenue, like I do have a month that I earn enough to be able to just leave off it completely as my full-time job. But the reason is this: streaming, to be able to make it always consistently, this is the thing about streaming, it will never be consistent unless you get a contract. So in order to become those streamer that have kind of like a very like a contract that you will always be provided by stable income, you need to be a level of like 1,000 concurrent viewers kind of streamer to have those kind of deals. Even for me at this time of the day, I think that it's still not stable. The part of the reason why it's just because it's stable. The second of all is that the thought process of you need to be constantly expecting your viewer to give you money is something that make me will never able to kind of like do streaming as I could right now, because the thought of I need to get the money to pay my rent, to be able to get money to do like this and that and kind of stuff. It's just too much for me. And to be thinking that, okay, how much am I going to make next month? And to know that these number will never be consistent enough to feed me off. Like,
would you feel like anxious? Like you don't have like that stability. Like I want to know if I'm going to be able to make it. The next month.
It just anxious. It's just mostly anxiety that you need to kind of like always maintaining and things like that. So for me right now, as it is, until I would able to get a signed contract from Twitch that, hey, I will pay you 1,000 USD per month to do like stream, then I think I would never go full time on this one. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's almost like a curse that a performer has. It's like there's always the ability to do this as a living wage or more than a living wage, just to live off of it for the rest of your life. But you're always having this anxiety of, will I be able to keep doing this? Because there are always times where you just don't want to do it just because you're not in the right mindset for it, or if you're feeling sick and you have to take a few days off. Yeah. But like, that's kind of a thing that's shared across.
Pukan wasn't talking about that. He was talking more about like having stability of money, not getting sick. It was just like, will I get enough money to live through the month?
What Brigger said is also true, because like for us,
sure,
right,
I'm fine. I'm just trying to say that if you were trying to summarize, that's what Pukan was trying to say. No, Burger is saying is absolutely true. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to let you know that's what Pukan was saying.
Yeah, and I was kind of getting to that too as well. Yes, there is also that aspect of, will I be able to make that a stable income for myself?
Yeah.
Because that's also just a thing that musicians have to worry about. There's always the stereotype of a starving artist. But I'm even if either of you don't make this your full-time job, if it just stays your hobby, I think that you two are still you still have the right mindset of like making sure that you're entertaining and being
It doesn't. Yeah, so, I like that. I like our guests, for this roster, and I like how down to earth you guys are, and very sincere and honest and helpful with your questions. Like even if you're not a full timer, you still have something to bring to the table, and you're doing good in this world. I feel like you're entertaining people, and Pink Cat says that he's been helping people. Like I like that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I think it's been wonderful having you two on this live stream tonight, actually. Thank you so much for coming to this live stream.
Well, likewise. Thank you for having us as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell us where we can find you on the internet. Give us your social media, or tell us what your Twitch channel names and stuff are.
Okay, I'll Pink Cat go first. Go.
I don't have ready Pukan first.
Okay. So if you watch me for the first time, I mean, like for some of you maybe like in the chat that maybe watch me for the first time. Hi, my name is Pukan, or you can call me Pukan as well. I am a Thai variety streamer. I'm actually a Thai Bangkok dog, and I stream on Twitch. I'm from Thailand, as you may know, so I speak Thai, but I'm currently living in Taiwan. So if you see me here, you might as well already notice some of my viewers in the chat as well. So thank you so much for coming to the stream. And if you want to see me more, you can click the link that they just put in the chat. You can click on go there, click follow, and I will be live streaming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. GMT plus 8. And I'll see you guys there. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Do you also have a Twitter?
Yeah. I mean, like, we also have like Twitter and Discord community as well. But I mean, see us first on Twitch, and we can work it out from after that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And then Pink Cat.
OK，Michael， 你帮我翻译一下，因为我怕我英文讲得不好。OK， 好，我是粉猫。那因为就刚刚 Michael 有帮我把推特跟那个 Twitch 放在上面。那我因为工作比较忙碌，而且又加上我有一些受活动要负责的部分，所以通常我都是挂台。就是我会放着音乐，然后给大家挂点数。然后我现在最常玩的还是 Day by Daylight， 然后还有最近有创世神魔主伺服器。所以如果你们真的有兴趣的话，可以点刚刚 Michael 给的连结，然后我们在上面见。也很欢迎大家陪我们，还有跟我其他的观众一起聊聊天，他们人都很不错。再一次感谢 Burger 跟 Michael 还有富坎，今天大家一起，我今天很开心。Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well.
Yeah. So, hi guys. My name is Pink Cat. Thank you for inviting me, Burger and Michael, for to this live stream. Most of the time when I stream, it's going to be Dead by Daylight. So just please expect that. Michael has already provided the links already. So just please follow me on the provided links that Michael has that he's entered. And thank you, Burger, Michael, Pukan, for an amazing live stream.
All right. Yeah. Great to have you two on here.
Yeah, we're ready to wrap up then.
Oh yeah. So, thank you, audience, for joining us. And you can, if you want to watch this again, you can obviously scroll back on the video on Twitch, but we will also be re-uploading a VOD onto YouTube later. Maybe on I don't know which day. It might be a few days later.
No, it'll be a week. It'll be about a week.
It'll be a week later.
It'll be about a week later. I'm also gonna plug in because we forgot to do this last time. Fox and Burger will be reappearing for Pawai on Air, which is Pawai's online FurCon. I think that's going to be in July, but maybe someone can correct me on that one.
It's later in July, actually. I remember this because Fermit is in early July.
It's July 28th. It's July 28th. I looked at it.
Yeah, July 28th, which is 5 days after my birthday.
I'm just going to go ahead and share that. It's in July. We are, for the first time ever, we are the GOHs of a convention. So I want to thank Pawai and Chiros and all the staff and volunteers for requesting us to be GOHs. We basically got interviewed by Pawai, and then that'll be uploaded on the first day of Pawai on Air. And again, that's July the 28th. I just posted the Twitter link below. So yeah, expect us there. And if anyone's going to Fermit, you guys will most likely see all four of us there, right? I think Pukan's going. I think Pink Cat's going. I think obviously me and Burger are going. So if anyone 如果是台湾人就是想跟我们聊一下，我们都会去苗栗过。
We're going to Miali.
So we'll see. We'll be at oh no, Pink Cat is
It's okay.
Pink Cat's
just wait for me 1 or 2 minutes. You will see. All
right.
Just keep going.
Okay. Let's keep. Well, we'll wrap up now. So yeah, thank you guys for coming.
Yay! Thank you.
All right,
Berg, I think you do your.
Yeah. So thanks once again, everyone, for watching. This has been the Fox and Burger podcast live stream with Pukan and Pink Cat, and I have been Burger and
Michael the Macho.
And we will see you either on YouTube or Twitch on the next time. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you guys in a minute.